The Audi Q8 is fresh from a mild update. Over this video, I'll quickly run through what's changed and reacquaint you with what is a charmer of an SUV. Before I get into the details, I have to tell you, I think the Audi Q8 is the best looking of the German SUV coupes. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the Autocar India channel and hit that bell icon to be notified every time we have a new video up. Things that have changed? Well, the list isn't a long one. There's the new option of this fetching Sakhir Gold paint shade for a start. The headlights are familiar in shape but have been upgraded to HD matrix LED units with powerful laser lights for high beam. What's also cool is the option to toggle between 4 DRL light signatures. The bold octagonal grille gets a facelift of its own with the incorporation of chrome teardrop detailing that adds in a bit of bling. Also, the Q8 makes the move to Audi's new 2D logo. The front bumper has been revised with a new intake design and chin spoiler. At the sides, it's the new 21-inch rims finished in graphite grey and red brake calipers that are your only cues to this being the 2024 Q8. It's not a shape I tinker with much, to be honest. The balanced proportions, and in particular the flow of the C-pillar and exaggerated haunches that link to Audi's hero rally cars of the 80s, give the Q8 standout appeal. Frameless windows are another detail that'll leave an impression at the hotel lobby. At the back, the latest Q8 carries forward the full-width LED lighting, though a redone scuff plate completes this mildest of makeovers. Even less has changed on the inside of the Audi Q8. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to tell that this is actually the updated car's interior. You still get the 3-screen layout, so you have digital dials, you get a touchscreen up top and a touchscreen lower down. And in general, the trim and colors are also very familiar. Now, talking of the screens themselves, the top touchscreen is nice to use, very slick, but it still misses on wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You will have to plug in your phone whenever you want to use those features. As for the touchscreen lower down, now it is a screen that we've learned to use over time, but it does require you to take your eyes off the road. There is haptic feedback, but it's not the ideal setting. As for Audi's virtual cockpit digital dials, again, it's the same story. They looked great a couple of years ago, but now just lack the vibrancy that we've seen in the screens that you get on the latest lot of BMWs and Mercs. Features-wise, you get those complex headlamps, you get soft closing for the doors, you get a sweet-sounding Bang & Olufsen sound system, you get the all-important panoramic sunroof, aside from the 3 screens that I've already touched upon. There's ambient lighting too, park assist, and a 360-degree camera with maneuver assist that'll apply the brakes if the system senses an impending collision when you're parking your vehicle. However, a full suite of ADAS features is missed, which is something you'd expect on a car of this price. Also, there's no seat ventilation, and even steering adjust is manual. The interior might not have the wow factor of new arrivals, but quality-wise, the cabin is top-notch. Over to the back. The Q8 is a large car and correspondingly scores huge on space at the back. Now, I'm just under 6 feet tall. The front seat is set to my driving position, and check out the space I have to the front seats. I'm really well catered to on seat comfort as well, and there's also the option to drop the rear seat backrest by a few degrees for added comfort. Now, width-wise, it is sufficient for 3 passengers, but this wide center console will impede comfort for the middle passenger. Then again, you wouldn't be buying a Q8 to travel with a full house. The best way to experience this seat is to fold the armrest down and relax. Now, as for features at the back, rear seat occupants get dedicated zones for the climate control system. There's this drop-down center armrest that opens up to reveal 2 cup holders, and you also get powered sunshades. Luggage space remains unchanged at 605 litres. Folding down the rear seats takes that figure to 1755 litres. There are no changes under the hood. We get the Q8 in 55 TFSI form, which means power comes courtesy a 3-litre V6 turbo petrol engine. The engine makes 340 horsepower and 500 Newton meters, and power is channeled to all four wheels via Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. It's a familiar experience behind the wheel, but also a very likable one. This is not the kind of engine that makes a song and dance off the power that it has. Power delivery is smooth throughout, and you have this feeling of a reserve of power that you can always tap into. The engine will show its full might when you really provoke it. 0 to 100 kph takes a claimed 5.6 seconds, and top speed is limited to 250 kph. Thing is, the Q8 is the kind of car that has a calming effect on you, which is also a function of its excellent refinement. Refinement is really good. You won't hear much from the engine bay at average city speeds, and even road and wind noise are really well contained. There is one notable change under the skin though. The Q8 is now only available with steel springs. You don't get an option of air suspension as you did before. Does that mean ride comfort is a compromise? Absolutely not. It rounds off the bumps really well. It doesn't feel as stiff-kneed as some of the other European luxury rivals. And mind you, that it's doing all that it does on large 21-inch rims. The Q8 prioritizes comfort over driver engagement, and there's really nothing wrong with that approach. The Q8 comes across as a smooth operator in the corners as well. It's not the most dynamic SUV, even with its steering and suspension set to their sportiest, but for something so large and so heavy, you still will have quite a bit of fun in the corners. Body control is good, and so are grip levels, helped in no small measure by Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system. For max driver thrills, you'll have to wait for the updated version of the fire-breathing RS Q8 that should come to India early next year. So that, in a nutshell, is the 2024 Audi Q8. Priced at 1.17 crore rupees ex-showroom, it slots in between the outgoing Q8 and Q8 Celebration variant. Also, with the BMW X6 currently not on sale in India and the Mercedes GLE Coupe only sold in AMG form at a much higher price point, the Q8 sits in a sweet spot in the luxury SUV market. The right way to look at a Q8 would be as a fashionable alternative to a BMW X5 or Mercedes GLE. Yes, the update should have filled in the blanks with added features, but the rest of the package remains likable as ever. So, just as before, for an SUV that's all about size and glamour, the Q8 still offers much to win you over.